I think the storage market is extremely exciting today in a way that we've probably not seen it in the last 15 to 20 years. Storage, along with its sort of cousin around data management, is going to become a really core part of IT infrastructures moving forward. It already is today, but it's going to become even more important, not just because of data growth. I think what we're seeing with some of the technology innovations around things like flash, converged infrastructures, what we're seeing with software-defined storage are all really, really exciting. But perhaps the most important and most exciting trend we're seeing that storage is definitely aligned to is cloud. Whether that cloud is public, private, hybrid, at the end of the day, the data has to reside somewhere, and it has to reside somewhere physical, actually. So, yes, virtualizing is really important, but the whole area around cloud storage is really key. So it's really exciting to be in part of this industry for sure. And that's where I see it's going. Cloud is really exciting. I mean, I think we're going to see that eventually, and I wouldn't want to put an exact number of years on it, but hybrid cloud is probably the most predominant model in the future. Today, we're seeing private clouds probably being the most important model, but obviously public clouds as well. Our strategy is to provide an infrastructure technology based on clustered data ontap, which is NetApp's premier product for data management, and is actually the #1 operating system for storage in the world by revenue. We want to provide that for all types of architectures, whether it's cloud that's based on a private cloud, whether it's working with the hyperscalers in a more of a public cloud environment, whether it's with the plethora of service providers who are providing great services for their customers. We want to provide that, if you like, underlying infrastructure that allows data portability and data movability around different types of clouds. And it brings me to an important point, I think, which is people talk a lot about hybrid clouds. They talk a lot about being able to move workloads from a hyperscaler perhaps to another service provider, or from a service provider back into their own private cloud, maybe within their own data centers. What tends to get overlooked a little bit is the data itself, because data tends to have what you might call gravity. It tends to be harder to move data. So you can move workloads, and that's what things like VMware's hybrid cloud service does, and Cisco's looking at things like intercloud to really enable the hybrid cloud. As far as what we think is important is, all of those are very important, and integration with those is important because often the data needs to move with it as well, and that's where we see us being an important part, being this data management platform, if you like, a fabric for different types of clouds. So we see that integration with public clouds, private clouds, service providers, hyperscalers, we want to be there with all of that. And I think our strategy around integration with all of the relevant standards and the relevant technologies like OpenStack, CloudStack, as well as the more proprietary ones, is really important. So we're providing open choice for our customers. Clustered data ontap is the next evolution of data ontap, and data ontap's been a technology that has been innovated and developed for the last 15 plus years. Clustered data ontap brings clustering to some of the core data management capabilities we've had in data ontap, things like cloning, deduplication, compression. These type of storage efficiency technologies have been there for a long time. We've added clustering into that. That's why we have clustered data ontap. But those are technologies which are not just the preserve or the need for it within enterprises. Also, small, medium business enterprises need the same level of technology and same level of capability. And so we've always built our technology with scalability in mind, whether that's scale up or scale out. And so from smaller systems within the SMB market space through to the very large scale systems you'd see in enterprises, big data centers, it's the same basic technology based around clustered data ontap that allows you some of those capabilities around scaling up, scaling out, and all the resources that I just mentioned around things like compression, etc. It's a great question, and it brings me on to probably onto one of the important points about NetApp and what differentiates NetApp. First, I mentioned innovation a little bit already. You know, we've always been innovative. We've always been at the vanguard of storage innovation. But another crucial part for us is we are a piece of the puzzle. Whether we're talking about cloud infrastructures, data center infrastructures, and there are a number of different vendors who are also key part of that puzzle for end customers. And so it's very important that we have the right relationships and integration points with those technologies. So integrations with technologies, virtualization technologies with companies like VMware, Citrix, integrations with the networking vendors at a software-defined level or physical level with Cisco, Brocade, these type of companies, and so on. So alliances are really important because, you know, we have to give our customers choice. I mentioned already with cloud, we want to give our customers choice, and it's an important differentiator for us. We believe is our relationships. So I talked about innovation, but relationships are also really important to us, and we have very strong relationships with, you know, the ecosystem that our customers use, because that's what they look for. They look for those points of integration. Might be with SAP, for example, at a level with HANA, for example, our level of integration with that. It's just one example, but we have many where we integrate with the core building blocks within the data center and within the public and private clouds. Well, I would say pretty much all our client base is either adopting it or evaluating Flash as a mechanism to either increase the latency or decrease the latency and increase the IOPS and the speed of processing for their applications. Majority of our customers, when they buy our technology today, also buy some form of flash within that. We have flash pools where you are able to pool HDD and SSD technologies together, so spinning disk as well as flash. We have flash cache at the controller level that gives you that capability to really accelerate your applications. We have flash in the server. Flash Excel is a technology we have as well. So we have flash at multiple levels, and so flash for us is a fundamental architecture or fundamental building block of our technology. We have specific technology called the EF540 and the EF550, which are all flash arrays. So those technologies are based on our E-Series platform, mostly based around SAN architectures, and that is all flash. That's for all SSDs. They tend to get used in probably relatively specific applications. They're less used, say for example, with more of a multi-shared or multi-platform type of environment where you would more likely see one of our FAS systems. They tend to get used where high performance is really important and throughput's really important. And we've seen a lot of success with our all flash array. And we have other technology coming down the line as well soon that's focused again on all flash array and building some of the capabilities that we have within clustered data ONTAP and building those into a very new and exciting platform around all flash array. I think we have some core infrastructure technologies that are rolling out, that will continue to do so. I mean, I've mentioned Flash. That clearly is going to be a disruptor in the market. It's changing the way that the profile of the applications are being used. I think what really is the overarching theme, though, and thematic for the next number of years is going to be cloud. There's no question. And from our perspective, when you talk to CIOs, many CIOs are certainly looking at cloud. Nearly every major organization and a lot of small and medium-sized businesses as well are experimenting with the cloud, whether it's in the public cloud and they're taking some of their test and dev applications or their email applications, whether they're using it as a software as a service or infrastructure as a service. They're already experimenting. Some are actually relying on cloud-based technologies. I don't think at this point, anybody is really saying, right, 100% everything into the web, into the cloud, whether it's public cloud or private cloud at this point. And they're looking for help. They're looking for a surety around some interesting issues, which I think it's important that people start to look at. And at NetApp, I think it's really important that we understand that it's not just about storage, it also is about data management. And so issues like data gravity, issues like data stewardship, data sovereignty, where does the data reside, data privacy. There's a lot of issues that still need discussion, healthy discussion, before a CIO says, right, my cloud strategy is end-to-end. I no longer need my own data centers. I can put everything out into the cloud. I don't think we'll get there. Over time, potentially we could. There will always be some applications and some processing that will remain in a core data center, either within a private cloud type environment or as a standard data center type applications. But increasingly, workloads are moving to the cloud. That's true, and NetApp wants to be part of that. I mean, we've always had a strong play around data management. Data management in the cloud is a complex beast, and we believe we have the capability to help our customers, the CIOs, the IT directions, the lines of business, and many lines of business are driving adoption of cloud processing and cloud applications. We believe we have the technology to help them through and navigate those relatively choppy waters as they adopt cloud.